What if I told you the secret to ending your year stronger isn't about doing more or locking in or transforming your life in the last month of the year like everyone's telling you about? And it's actually being about slow, being intentional, being present and reflective on what's happened in the year, being grateful for everything that you'd been through and everything that had happened. In this video, I'm going to share with you my fresh perspective on what the end of the year is all about. And I'm also going to share the importance of gratitude, what it is, how to have a practice, as well as 5 tips and things that I do to build a better gratitude practice in my regular lifestyle. I think you're definitely going to want to tune in for this one because the upcoming year should be about being grateful and using that as the baseline for building your future success. So let's get into it. Hi everyone, welcome back for another video. If you're new here, well, it's probably because I just started my channel, so glad to have you. My name is Tiff, and I am sharing videos teaching you how to live a holistic lifestyle, be more intentional, be your authentic self, learning to be mindful and thriving in that while having either a busy lifestyle or even if you're overcoming a challenge. I built these habits myself while I was coming out of a very dark time in my life. I was overcoming a stress-induced challenge with gut health issues, and I had to learn to heal myself through the foods I was eating and how I was thinking. And I want to teach you all how to do the same. Before we dive into the meat of this video, I want to get into a habit of including affirmations as part of my regular video cadence because I feel like affirmations are an important way to build that positive mindset and lay the foundations for how you think about yourself, how you approach the day. So to start this video, I'm going to share 5 affirmations that I think are a perfect fit for the end of the year. You know, we're going into winter solstice. That is the time of year where things are slowing down, where you need to be more mindful, more cozy, more introspective. It's really a time to get in tune with your mind and your soul, how you're feeling, what you're thinking about things, how things made you feel. Utilizing affirmations is a great way to build a strong foundation for starting the new year. And these affirmations in particular will help you kind of reflect on what happened, be grateful for what happened, and help you attract more success in the future. We'll plan to repeat each of these twice so they really set in for you. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Get comfortable, close your eyes, and tune in. Start with breathing in and breathing out. I honor the lessons this year's brought me, and I welcome the growth ahead. I honor the lessons this year has brought me, and I welcome the growth ahead. I am grateful for the warmth in my life and as the season turns colder. I am grateful for the warmth in my life as the season turns colder. I release what no longer serves me, and I embrace new opportunities. I release what no longer serves me, and I embrace new opportunities. I rest and recharge, knowing this season of stillness prepares me for renewal. I rest and recharge, knowing this season of stillness prepares me for renewal. I am grounded, present, and open to the gifts to come. I am grounded, present, and open for the gifts to come. Now breathe in again and breathe out. How are y'all feeling now after that? Hopefully, a little better, a little clearer. Like I mentioned, I'll continue to sprinkle in some of these affirmations in some of my videos just to kind of set the vibes and the intentions for what's to come. Some reflecting. I got my tea. How did 2024 go? I think it went well. I feel very happy about the things that I did. I did live up to my motto. And just for context, usually at the beginning of each year, I'll set a phrase or a motto, something to kind of capture what I want to happen in that year. And for 2024, the motto was to remember to live life. And I do think that I did that. I kind of talked about this in my first video, which was I was previously very stuck in the matrix and just constantly grinding, constantly hustling, only focused on work. And that really kind of drove me into the ground. So this year, I really wanted to make sure that I was remembering to appreciate the small things and remembering that there's a lot of life to live and you can't just let it pass you by while you're stuck at your desk or stuck focused on something that's challenging happening in your life. The first mindset shift that I made was literally switching out of that matrix. I wanted to focus more on working to live rather than living to work, which I mentioned in my last video. And then this year, I focused a lot on the gratitude aspect. So shifting my mind to being more grateful for the life that I have, the life that I'm living, where I am currently, being grateful for everything that I'd been through. And I think that really helped in my overall health and wellness. There's hundreds of things that you can be grateful for during the day. I mean, you could try it right now. Go ahead and sound off in the comments. Write down things that made you happy today or this past week, something that made you smile. Share it out so we can all kind of hype each other up. And I definitely want to read it, so feel free to share what's on your mind. Gratefulness helps to create that positive mindset, and I think having a positive mindset is so important, especially in today's world when everything just seems so negative, so harsh, so fast-paced. It's really important to practice cultivating that positive, grateful mindset to ensure, you are going throughout life and you are sharing your soul with people in the best positive way that you can. More about being thankful for the challenges that you face because they make you stronger, they make you a better person, they bring you a new perspective if you're stuck. Be thankful for the progress that you make. I'm not saying that you should lose your feelings or your emotions about things. Everyone goes through something negative or something hard at some point in their life. So I'm not saying at all that you shouldn't feel those emotions or that's not right. What I am saying is to reflect on the bigger meaning of things, understand the picture of like what this challenge is forcing you to overcome. What is the next step? What is this new perspective that you need to have on life? It's about asking how you can grow. What is this showing me? What changes do I need to make? And so that's how I approached my gut health issues that I mentioned. Of course I was feeling really down and like beating myself up about the situation that I was in, and that honestly I felt like it was my fault. And that feeds into the constant cycle of stress and anxiety about my situation. I literally had to change how I was thinking because otherwise the cycle would just keep going on and keep chipping away at me. Think about it. If I was going through a stressful period and that stressful period resulted in my gut health issues, my digestion issues, me feeling sick and terrible every day, I was being stressed by an external factor. Then, because I wasn't feeling good constantly, I started to become stressed and anxious about what was happening internally. And that is a constant feedback loop that'll keep cycling over and over again unless you break that mindset and focus on the changes that need to be made. Being reflective and positive despite what is happening, forcing your mind to stop stressing, stop being anxious, and just be present. Slowing down my mind and slowing down kind of this negative feedback loop really made a huge difference in how I was feeling, because I stopped feeding that negative input that was being manifested in physical symptoms for me. And so I made huge strides this year in just feeling better, feeling more like myself, feeling happy, not feeling in pain or having constant IBS flare-ups. And that felt really good. I became more in tune with my body. I was feeling better. And I do think that a lot of this was due in part to food, of course, healing through the food that I was eating, but also because of the mindset that I had. The truth at the end of the day, I am thankful for what I have been going through, what I went through, because it forced me to make an important change in my life. It forced me to focus on living and being present, prioritizing health, and that's the important thing. I wasn't doing any of that before, and now that is my top priority, and it should be yours too. Guys, I'm not just pulling this out of thin air. There's a lot of science behind the importance of having a strong gratitude practice. It can positively impact how your mind processes things. So, here's my shameless plug. If y'all haven't been listening to Andrew Huberman and his podcast, you need to go over there and give it a listen, because he teaches you about the science behind your body, what goes on, how it happens, how you can make changes. And I learned so much about a lot of different processes in my body through listening to his podcast. So definitely go give it a listen. He has a really great episode on gratitude practice. In it, he shares a few studies about how having a strong gratitude practice can actually reframe how your mind processes trauma. It can reframe previous trauma you experienced, and it can help strengthen your mind's response to future challenges that you might have. And it literally does this by rewiring how your brain processes things over time, which is insane. It also shares that people that have strong gratitude practices that they implement regularly in their life report having a stronger sense of overall happiness about their life, a stronger sense of meaning and purpose in their life. That's what I'm seeking. So it was really important to me this year to be very thoughtful and very mindful about that. And if you think about it, our minds are wired to appreciate the art of storytelling. So if you are reframing your mindset into one that is more positive, one that is more grateful, one that is more appreciative and open about what is going on in the current life, then your mind is going to respond to that and process things that way moving forward. I am not telling you to just lie to yourself. That is not what I'm telling you. What I'm telling you is to just reframe how you think about things, put things into a meaningful context, understand the bigger picture. Don't lie to yourself. Nobody wants to do that, because you're going to end up not living an authentic lifestyle, and why would you ever want to do that? But yeah, so I highly recommend that you listen to Huberman. He's got a lot of great science-backed evidence and information that he shares on his podcast, and you can learn so much about how the body works, how to optimize it, and improve its overall functioning. So go check him out. I did promise some gratitude practice tips that I incorporate in my regular lifestyle, so we're going to go ahead and get into those now. These are things that I regularly incorporate in my routines, and I'd love to hear also what you guys do. If you have any gratitude practices, or if any of these resonated with you, please comment below and let me know. First gratitude practice tip is focusing on that storytelling element that I mentioned earlier. So like I said, our brain really does appreciate the framing of things, hearing things told in a story format, really understanding all the details. You guys know you love your little tea times, your little sessions, That's what your brain loves to hear. So why not practice that in the gratitude mindset, the gratitude framing? So whenever you're journaling, try to think of all the little details. Think about how something made you feel. Think about how you made someone feel. Think about, what was happening in that moment. What was the weather like? Think about all the big and small things to really help put your mind in that state and bring you back to how you were feeling in a certain situation where you were really grateful. I really do recommend that, whether you're answering a journal prompt that asks you to talk about 3 things that you were grateful for during the day. Don't just write down, oh, I'm grateful for the fact that I was able to go for a walk. I am grateful for, the dinner that I had with a friend. Instead of just writing down 3 simple things, share the details about it. If you went to dinner with your friend and you really enjoyed that, talk about, how great and how much you appreciate this friend. Write about the things that you guys talked about. Write about the meal that you had. Write about how you felt in that moment. So that's my first tip, the art of storytelling. My second tip is to actually not focus on gratitude for yourself, but share that gratitude with someone else. Send them a text. Tell them you love them. Tell them, I'm really grateful that we were able to go grab dinner the other day. I really enjoyed, hearing what you were up to, hearing what your focus areas are, hearing, what's going on in your life. See how that makes you feel? Do you know how that's going to make that person feel? It's important that when we have a gratitude practice and a gratitude mindset, that you're not focused just on how you're feeling and what you're grateful for. That's great and all, but we should be sharing the wealth. I feel like in this world, there's just not enough love being shared, especially right now. And something as simple as a text message telling someone you love them and you were grateful for meeting with them that day can go miles for that person, can make a huge difference in, their evening post hanging out with you. So I strongly encourage you to be a little bit more thoughtful about when you can share gratefulness with someone else, whether it's your partner, your bestie, a teacher, a coworker, whatever it is. Tell them you're thankful at work. If someone helped you out with something, or someone got something to you ahead of a deadline, tell them thank you. I appreciate the work that you're doing. I appreciate the help. Say they're awesome at their job, if they are, of course. But yeah, just be a little bit more thoughtful about how you can share the love. My third tip is to align your actions with doing something good. So what I mean by that is think about how you can have a positive impact in someone's life, whether that's daily or weekly or monthly, whatever the cadence is. Just be a little bit more actionable on it. So you could do some charity work on the side, or you could participate in community events on the weekends. You can provide mentorship to someone younger in your life. There are a lot of different ways that you can get involved and make someone else's life a little bit better. I am really thankful that I was able to align my day job with doing meaningful work. And so for me, that makes me feel grateful every day. I think about the people that are impacted by the work that I'm doing, and that brings a sense of gratefulness, a sense of compassion, a sense of understanding as I'm going about my day. I'm a lot more reflective about things that I normally complain about or things that are going on in my life. I'm a lot more mindful of that because I put it into perspective of what's going on in the greater world. So I highly recommend you kind of reflect on what you could be doing to do something better, make the world a better place. And I keep saying the world, it doesn't even have to impact the world. It could just impact a small group of people, or even the person you live with. Something small, something kind that you can do and do it regularly. Maybe it's you make breakfast for your partner once a week or something. Or maybe You make cupcakes for your group of friends whenever y'all get together. Something that brings joy to other people rather than yourself is going to help you have that positive perspective. So I highly recommend that. My fourth tip is to go on gratitude walks. Those are super underrated. Literally, just go outside, enjoy the fresh air, enjoy the sun, enjoy the birds chirping, look at the flowers, be mindful, be present, and I promise you, you're going to feel grateful for the life that you get to live. It's so simple. Most of us are stuck in the house on the weekends, or if you work from home, you're stuck in the house most of the week. You're either stuck in the office, stuck in the car, or stuck in the house. Which one is it? Pick your location. But we don't nearly get outside as much as we should. And so that is a very underrated way to be a little bit more grateful for your present life, what's going on. It's just getting out there. And to make it even better, go with someone that you care about. Go for a 20-minute walk with your bestie. Go for a 20-minute walk with your partner. Enjoy what's going on in the world. Talk about things. Be present. Don't have your phone in your hand while you're walking. And you'll feel a lot better, I promise you, once you get back from that walk. So that one's underrated. I don't really need to say much about it because it's just a fact. Get out there, go get your steps in, go for a walk. Don't just go for a walk mindlessly. Be present and be aware of like what's going on around you, because the life is there. It's all around us, and you need to be soaking that in. So try that out. My final tip is picking up a meditation or a yoga practice. You don't need to go out and you don't need to get a membership. There are a ton of free resources online. You just need to look for it. There's a lot of free videos on YouTube on meditating and yoga practice. There's free resources if you just do a quick Google search. You just have to look for it. I've found that doing yoga and being a little bit more mindful and meditating has really helped me ground and be present in what's going on in my life, be more reflective, be more appreciative for the little things, be more appreciative for the life that I am able to live. That I have found has came a lot easier because I do things like yoga, which yoga isn't just about doing the poses and going to class and saying that you did yoga or hot yoga. It's about the breath work. It's about the meditation, the focusing on being present, forgetting about what's going on in your world and just being right there on your mat. And for me, that has made a world of a difference in my positive mindset. So that's it. I hope you found some of this helpful. I hope you're able to take away some tips, understand the science behind gratitude a little bit better, be a little bit more reflective and thoughtful and slow during this year end. Don't just stress about locking in or transforming yourself or racing to the finish line. You don't need to do any of that. You just need to embrace the winter solstice and be slow and be present and be mindful. Be thoughtful about everything that had happened in the year. Use that to reset and think about what you want in 2025. But you don't need to race to the finish line at all. You just need to be thoughtful. So if you've made it this far in the video and you're really resonating with my story, or you feel like the stuff that I'm talking about can help you, please like, please subscribe, and let's start building a community of getting better together. I have a lot more coming, a lot more in store for you guys. I'm thinking in January, maybe I'll start sharing more about my gut health. So I'll probably do like a gut health restore series or something like building foundations for the healthiest version of yourself or having a holistic wellness practice, something like that. If any of that sounds interesting to y'all, please let me know in the comments below. All right, I will see you in the next video. Bye.